Oh, I'm sorry. I did it wrong. We could turn it back on, please. Racing ahead of myself here tonight. I have some writing to consider. The title of this class, number 108, is One Universe is called One. One universe, one life, one entity is the sum of all that is. And all that is in the smallest particle of creation. Each sun, each planet could be an atom or a cell in the body of the physical universe. Other life forms that you have little or no name or labels for make up the expression of life on many other dimensions. All are of the one life. From your point of view, you are limited relative to your brothers and sisters on other planets, in other places of the universe. These words are not to make you feel inadequate, but to open another window for you to consider. You all are truly one with all life, on all planets, suns, or dimensions. Your brothers and sisters in the physical from many other planets want you to know this and wish you to know that many of them are close to you and your atmosphere as you go through this time of accelerated change. Their presence on and around your planet will help you to keep your balance and the balance of the planet. They want you to know that you can reach out to them with your thoughts and God's love in your times of need. They are here to help in God's service. Good evening, my dear ones. This is Don, coming to you from these realms of love and light. It is a great pleasure to be with you in your circle of light and with all these others from this side of the veil. It is a special night tonight in that we are moving into another area of understanding, or should I say, of enlightenment. There's a special one here that would speak to you and does not wish to give a name, but this one is in the physical from another part of your universe. And we would ask you to lend a little extra support and love to the channel as this experiment progresses. Good evening, my dear ones. This is indeed a pleasure to be with you and to speak with you in this way. This is a new horizon, and we would come to you and speak to you mainly to help you to understand and to remind you that we are here with you. There are many, many from different parts of the universe and of your galaxy that have come to witness the accelerated changes that are coming about on your planet and with this part of the galaxy. We would have you to know that the ripples of this change will move out throughout the whole of the universe. This is indeed coming to a cosmic event, as I overheard some conversation this evening. It is a little halting for me to speak to you in your language, but I have been practicing so that I would be able to come to you and be with you in your language and in your thoughts, and make you aware, much more aware, of our presence. There is much that we can do to help. There is much that we have already done to help. And the most important thing is to keep the balance of your planet through this accelerated change. And the way that you can help is to keep your balance and continue to send God's love to your planet and to this time in your history, I guess we should say, of your planet. Great changes are in your future as you think of it. Many changes have already come about. And as you see from the world events, these changes lead to things that could upset your balance in your governments and your different countries. Continue to send love and hold no thought of fear, but send God's love and release them to God many times through the day. This is the most important thing that you can do. And as you move to your higher consciousness, we would like to visit you at times to tell you of things that we know, but we will not go into too many details this evening. My planet is in your galaxy and is not too far away in our thinking, but in your thinking it would be a great distance. As you raise your consciousness to realize that duality is a false concept and that time and space are not really true, then you can realize that our mode of transportation and our way of moving from place to place is much different than your thinking in your world. As we get acquainted, and as I am able to use your language a little better, it will serve a purpose for you to understand that you are children of the universe and not just of this country and not just of this planet. And soon, my dear ones, there will be only one, shall we say, government on your planet. And this is not a very good choice of word. When the light and the vibrations have come to a certain place, all peoples of your planet will come together and know that they are one with each other and brothers and sisters. To you this will seem a slow process, but to us we have already seen it in your future. We are here to help you and the threats that seem to be in your world. I see that I'm using incorrect words, but seeming threats, should I say, of other countries, small countries, that could be a thorn in your side. But we have much ability to work with all the peoples of this planet. And we have been given permission by our Heavenly Father to work in the framework of His laws to keep your planet in balance and keep your planet and your people from destroying your planet. This will not be allowed. But the great changes are coming. And the greatest change, my dear ones, is the change within you. As your teacher has taught you, you truly do not live on this planet or in this area you call Phoenix. You live in your consciousness. And as you raise your consciousness and as you understand the true reality of your being, then we can reach you so much easier. Use your inner image to allow yourself to every day broaden your horizon of thinking and open your mind to new ideas, to new understanding. And in doing this, we will have to increase the words in your language. But when you do away with speaking and with using language, everything will be much easier. There is one thing I would point out in the last part of this written message, is that we come in love and in God's service. You have heard many scary things about the space people, as you call them, and realize in the depths of your being that all who are allowed to come into your ring past not, as one writer has put it, into your planet's area, all are of God's love. There are many other things that are happening on your planet that seem strange to you, but in time will be able to understand. I am having more difficulty than I thought, and I would like to turn this back to your doorkeeper, your lovely shining being, and I would have you to know that he is such a shining being, the one that you call Gadon. It has been a privilege to speak with you in this way, and we wish you Godspeed and would remind you to remember that we are with you. Yes, I am back with you again, and it has been a privilege to allow this one to speak to you and to make his first attempt at working through this channel. He has been practicing and will be better when he tries again. There is much for you to understand and for you to learn, and I know that there are many questions in your minds about other planets and the galaxy and the universe. I would have you to limit some of these questions and not go too far out at this time. But let us open this new window a little bit at a time so that we on this side can use the right words so that we can communicate to you in the best way possible. This has been coming to a head, I should say, and so that we could speak to you about more of the places in the universe and about the ones, God's dear ones who are in the physical, who have come to help you and to be with you. They have been here much longer than you think, and they are your brothers and sisters, and we would have you to understand that some of them you have known on other planets and other places and are very dear to you. As you open your consciousness, as you are able to stretch your inner image to accept more understanding and greater understanding, then it is possible for us to relate to you in greater abundance of life. One of the reasons for this coming about is to help you to not be so limited in your boundaries, not be so limited in your thinking, and to stretch out your thoughts, and to realize that at the turn of this century, many things are coming about. Many things will come about as they already are in between now and then. And as you move into the next century, there will be a different vibration, and there will be much more openness to the entities who live on your planet, and many, many more will come into your way or near to your way of thinking. We would like to prepare you for this time and to help you to understand and realize that you are pilgrims that have come before and are preparing the way, as we have told you before. There are several entities from other planets here tonight and have been here, but not too close to your circle in the past. But they want you to be aware of them and to be aware of their ability to help you if you decide that you want to have a rapport with them. Your thoughts are well known to them, and all you need to do is to think what you wish to say to them, and it is known. There are several who have been with Donald on other planets, and the same with most of you in the circle of light. This may not be new thoughts to you, but to some of you it may be. And to speak of it in this way is to allow you to move your thoughts out and to a higher level so that you can be reached when the time is needed. There will come a time in most of you in your incarnations when the entities from other planets and us from these other dimensions will be able to speak to you and to make ourselves known to you just as you are known to each other. And we would have you to think about this and consider this possibility, and to know that it should not frighten you or should not disturb you if we come into your thoughts or if we appear to you. This will come about in some of your lifetimes in this incarnation. Shall we pause and send love into the message that has been given so far, and then we will ask questions. But let us have a quiet time to bring about better harmony in the channel. Yes, this is much better. I would have you to know that it's not always easy for Donald to set himself aside and to allow this to come about. But he wants to serve in every way possible. As you think about what has been said, let us see if you have questions that you would ask.
I'd like to ask a question.
Yes.
About the entities or the people that are there from other planets, and that if we reach out our thought to them, they will communicate with us. Is that to say that some of that is part of what our plan is for being here on this planet, and that they will try to influence us to reach out to them so that we can open up the communication that was already turned from the king?
What were the last few words?
So that we could fulfill a plan that we already knew about before we came.
Yes, yes, this is true. And you will feel secure in this. And we will not invade your privacy. And we are saying these things tonight to you to allow you to consider this. And when you have opened the door, then, if the time is right, we will then come into your thoughts, and it will be subtle for you, and you may not recognize it at first. But as the days move on, you will grow in consciousness and you will understand. This is a part of your plan, yes. For you who are younger, and there is no such thing as time, and we are not limiting anyone in how long they can stay in the body. But you who have planned to stay in the body through these great changes that are already happening, this is your plan. And even if you do not stay in the body, you can work from this side as we are working from this side to help in many, many ways. Did this answer your question, my dear one?
Yeah, thank you.
Could you be more specific in reference to the changes that are going on?
Yes, I will try to.
And how they will affect?
This is not meant to frighten you, and we would have you to realize that you are always in God's hands, and it matters little if you lose your physical body, because you are not your physical body. But we know that you identify with it so much that fearful thoughts can come into your mind from speaking of this. And we have put this off for some time so that we might prepare you, and we are speaking little of it now, and later we will speak in greater abundance of this. But the changes you are already witnessing, the changes in the world, countries, the changes that are happening with your weather. There may be some times of more extreme conditions on your planet, but if you will consider, in parts of your own country and other countries, there have been extreme weather changes and weather conditions in this past year or so. And so it is not something to be too concerned about. It is not something to hide in a cellar from, shall we say, or anything of this nature. I would say to you, go about your life as you have been, but do everything possible to raise your consciousness. And when there is need for you to be somewhere or do something specifically, we will be able to reach you in your thoughts and your understanding. Not especially that you are in danger, but for the good of others. From our level of perception, we see the entities who are just on the verge of turning loose of their old negative patterns and their old beliefs and ready to move in to new beliefs. And we do send ones in the physical to help them to find their way to the right place at the right time so that they can get the understanding that they need a little at a time until they can move into greater understanding as you in this circle have. And as you move forward, you will receive much greater enlightenment than you have now. The changes from within you are much more important than the outer physical world changes.
Is that why, first of all, note that maybe it's something that I'm dealing with, but it seems like so many outer influences are coming at me in reference to making a choice to do my day-to-day duties in reference to supporting my physical body and my family. And I realize I'm doing the best I can with that, but it just seems recently so many things, so many different options are available to me, and I'm trying to find within the inner the choice to make, and I think I'm making it more confusing than I need be because it's not supposed to be complicated.
Yes. Let me ask you if you have written these things down on paper. It is good, as we have told you before, when these different choices come to you, to make a list of them, and then leave room to write down the pros and the cons about these particular changes. If you will do this, this will help you to see more clearly. It will also help us to reach you. We cannot make decisions for you, my dear, but we can give you an abundance of God's love and light so that you may see more clearly. try not to be overly concerned about this. I know that it is difficult for you, and that at this time you have been placed in a position that in this incarnation you have not had before. But realize that everything is in abundance, everywhere present, and continue to work with the class that gives you this understanding. Continue to believe in yourself and to believe in God's power to work through you. But do put these down on paper and list the pros and the cons, and you will be able to see more clearly.
Thank you very much.
Yes. Are there other questions this evening? In speaking of this, I want you to know that the changes in occupations are coming about in your world, and as you can already see, but there will be greater changes. And be not concerned about it, but keep your channels open to us and to God within you, so that the guidance can come to you and you will be able to be secure in your thinking. It is when you allow yourself to allow fear to enter in that it interferes with your life. Be firm in your belief and in your understanding. Be firm in knowing that God lives within you and is everywhere present, and that there is an abundance of everything that you need. Try to live only one day at a time. Plan for your future, yes, but you make your plans in this one day, the present, and work with your plans and your goals. But when you work with these in a mental way and bringing the power of God's love into it, you are doing it in the present. Keep this in mind and realize that trying to live in the future and the past is a great deterrent to many, many on your plane. Do not allow it to trip you up. God knows your needs before you know them, and if you allow Him to and ask, then they will be fulfilled. Remember what the Master said, ask and you shall receive, seek and you shall find, knock and it shall be opened unto you. This is something to continue to remember. Also, in this same area, continue to remember that God works through you and not for you, and that you have to do the physical things that are necessary to support your physical body. But He will give you the understanding, the enlightenment. He will give you the wisdom and the know-how if you keep open to Him and not allow fear to interfere. Are there other questions this evening? Yes?
I have a question about the children that will be coming up in the new age. Do you have anything for parents that can, it sounds as if the children will be the generation that starts the new age. And they will have to be, a whole different understanding than past generations have had.
Yes, and the children of the children of the children. Because you see, this new age is 2,000 years, and there will be many generations, and if some of you leave the body, you may decide to come back in the physical with a greater understanding. There will come a time in this age that there will be no barriers between your dimension and our dimension, and we will be able to appear to you and speak to you as you speak to each other. If you raise your vibrations and your consciousness to this level, this will not happen right away, but it will come about when you do away, especially when you do away with your language and use thought transference. You see, right now, we are using thought transference when I am channeling through this channel. In a sense, I am thinking in your language and words and impressing them through this channel and using the voice box so that you will be able to hear and to understand. And it is not such a great feat to be able to transfer your thoughts to others and receive them and then direct other thoughts to them, just as you carry on conversations in your language. But it will be so much more. When you open the door to us so much more, and the space people, we can use these thought impressions to enlighten you to a much greater degree. We can show you many, many things that would be impossible to show you through words. And so we encourage you to move forward in your growth, in your spiritual understanding, and turn loose of any limited thinking, and understand that if you will take a few minutes each day to practice receiving from God within you the impressions, and then take a few more minutes practicing receiving from us, it will quicken the time when we will be able to do this. Are there other questions this evening? Our communication has not been as strong and as easy as it has been in the past. Be not concerned about this, but realize it is not how it comes or who it comes through, but it is the message that counts. It is the understanding that you receive. And tonight we are opening new windows for you and new doors so that we can move faster in helping you, because you are the ones who are spearheading the progress in this new age. We do not wish to put burdens on you, but to help you to understand how important you are to us and to your planet. There are many, many groups such as yours around the planet, and they are working in their own way and doing what they understand to do. Be not critical of them if they are not doing as you are, but realize that everyone is in their right place for the understanding that they need. Do I hear other questions? It is, yes.
Sometimes going through, for instance, the things that we've been taught and over again, I feel I get stale. I feel that I should approach it from a more within myself, and yet I don't want to neglect the other either. I've had the experience with mental telepathy. I'd like to work that way if I could.
Yeah.
It would help me.
We are here to help you, my dear one, and you can be a good example of this just by taking a little time twice a day and as near the same time as possible. It is like making an appointment with us, for we are very busy on this side, but when you let us know through your thoughts that, and to write it down on paper is good, and to make yourself a note that you intend to practice going within, to have your time with God at a certain time, and then at another time to going within and spending 15, 20 minutes with us, then you will see that it will move in to a much greater understanding.
Thank you.
Yes. And remember that it will not always be in words that our communications come, but impressions, ideas, and maybe pictures. Not pictures as you would see with your eyes open, but impressions of pictures. This,
Would you give me a nudge because I don't miss the time I set?
yes. And if you will help yourself also in making a sign so that, or a note that you will run into, your routine, you see, is in a certain way. And if you want to, say, 10 o'clock in the morning, or whatever time that you want to be alone, put a note where you will be sure to find it, and this will help. Yes. This is a wonderful and beautiful time that we are coming into, and do not allow the news of the outer world to bother you. Do not allow others' fears to come into your consciousness, for you and God are one, and you are one with all creation, as you have been told. Know this in the deepest part of your being, and keep it in the front of your thoughts as you move through your days, as you move through your minutes, your hours, and so on. Keep the spirit of beauty and joy and love alive so that it goes before you and so that it is there to meet you every moment of your day, every moment of your waking hour, and we will be with you in the time that your body rests from you. It has been a great privilege to be with you this evening and to share these things with you, and many greater things are yet to come. God bless you, and good evening.
And a state grateful for the ones from the other dimensional spirit come to us and let us send them God's love so that they might have a greater contact with them. And remember to do this often through the day. Let us think of coming together in the physical and bringing the spirit into the physical. As the Master said in his prayer, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. And each day, let us bring more of the spirit of heaven into our life, into our thoughts, into our words, our deeds. Let us think of God's love building up and filling this room, spreading out over the city and covering this planet, and going ahead of us into this week, going ahead of us into this incarnation. And let us be aware, much more aware, of our friends that we do not see with our physical eyes. Thank you, Father. Amen.
Listen to your eyes.
Just trying to turn my throat more up. Oh, time. So that's good, money. Okay.
Oh, the one that is because what's Trisha, and she's not my mother. She's just a good friend. In fact, she is in dance. Well,